Greek raids were unexpectedly updated earlier this week with 2 new difficulties added. And for the alpha and beta raids, this is great news for the additional rewards. But for the gamma raids, they've always been very restrictive with its traits. And for some alliances, the additional rewards will not be worth the cost to build up these required characters. So in this video, I'm breaking it down for you to make it easy. We're breaking down the rewards. We're breaking down each of the problem traits to see which are the best characters in each of the traits to see if you and your alliance, if it's going to be worth it for you guys to build up for these higher difficulties. And if you're ready for all of that, Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello. What is up, Valley Club? Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you and your alliance are doing very well in these Greek gamma raids right now. They've all been updated, but the gamma is the problem one. And we're going to take a look at the additional rewards, see if it's worth it for your alliance to bump up to the next difficulty tier. And then we're going to take a look at these problem nodes and these character options that can serve you well in these gamma raids. I don't think you're going to struggle at all in these alpha raids or the beta raids with these new difficulties, but we're talking about the gamma in this video. Now, if this is your first time here, before we get to all of that, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content, at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's a lot more. We got tips and tricks like this. We got mailbag videos answering your questions. We got news videos. We got gameplay, a lot, everything to help your Marvel Strike Force experience. But let's go into the game right now and take a look at these new difficulties in there. Now, these are the additional rewards that you're going to get per node. Now, so this is not a lot. You're going to get the same amount of raid credits, the same amount of these premium orb fragments here, but you're going to get a little more gold and a little more of this raid season points. So if you and your alliance are very competitive in these raid seasons, well, getting more points per node is going to help you. But the bonus rewards, not that huge. Now, the rewards per tier, and if you realize, if you remember, there's 3 tiers. There's that 30% tier, there's that 60% tier, and then 100% tier. So each of these reward tiers gonna give you, this is gonna give 1,000 of the gamma orb fragments, this is gonna give 1,350, and this is gonna give 1,700. So almost double the rewards. And then we also have orange elite orb fragments. So you're getting some of that in this as well. You're getting more of that. You're getting double that per reward tier in difficulty 4. And not only are you gonna get double these orange elite fragments, but you're also gonna get these teal elite orb fragments. So if you're looking for that teal gear, trying to push for Apocalypse, trying to get the most characters built up to gear 16 and 17, and you're probably gonna wanna build up for these higher difficulties here. Now, if you look at the different stat bonuses here, enemy stats, they're getting from 250 at the previous difficulty 4.3, 500 difficulty 4.4, and 700% extra health on difficulty 5. So 3 times the health. You're also getting more damage, 600% damage difficulty 3, 1000% extra damage difficulty 4, and 1500% extra damage in difficulty 5. So almost 3 times the amount there. You're getting 500% extra armor in difficulty 5, 375 and 150 extra armor in difficulty 3. So as you can see, these stats are going up significantly. 250, 500% and 750% focus for each of those difficulties. So 3 times the difficulty or 3 times the amount of focus in difficulty 5 as compared to difficulty 3, and then more resistance as well. And this doesn't actually make sense. Plus 800% resistance, plus 500% resistance, and 750. So this is probably a typo. Yeah, if you look at this, this is probably a typo. It goes from 140 to 800 to 500. So this is probably not right in the game, but you're getting more stats per difficulty. Now let's go take a look at these lanes here and talk about some of these problem lanes in the game right now. And if we look at the first section here, you have Avengers, which you could pretty much just use your Bionic Avengers, but we got a lot of great Avenger options for this. So that probably is not gonna be a difficult node here. We also have Spider-Verse in this node here, along with the Avengers. So you got your Web Warriors there, or your former meta team, the Symbiote. So you got a lot of great options in Avengers and Symbiotes. We're not gonna talk about it. You also have the Guardians as well. I think the first problem nodes come from this one here. On this A6, you're getting Kree and Pimtech. Now, let's go take a look at the Pim Deck teams because there's not a lot of great Pim Deck characters in the game. You could even argue that Ghost isn't worth it at all at this point, but Ghost is probably the best of the bunch. If you are going to build up a Pim Deck character, Ghost is probably the one to build up. She has lost a lot of value since her inception. This team was an okay team in the beginning, but yeah, they were a Dark Dimension team, and then because I guess nobody was buying it, they added them to these lanes here. So Pim Deck, the only one that would be worth building up is Ghost, and that is even questionable at this point in the game. Now, the next thing that you could use is the Kree tag in the game. And if we go in the game to take a look at some of the Kree characters that are pretty good, that are possibly worth building up for these gamma raids alone. If we go into the game right now, we'll see that there aren't very many great Kree characters. I think the big one here is going to be Phyla-Vell, still important. The Infinity Watch is still an important team in War, in Crucible, so I don't think you're going to lose too much building up Phyla-Vell. Captain Marvel is a part of that A-Force team who is a great counter to the Young Avengers in War, and in Crucible, Captain Marvel, building her up, you won't lose too much. And then we also have Minerva here. Now, while Minerva is not a part of any meta team there, she does have that percent-based damage of her health. She has a revive, so she's a great character for raids. So you're gonna get some value out of her, but not as much as when she was initially released in the game. But those are the only 3 Kree characters that I would build up at this point. Korath, Ultimus, Ronin, not really worth at this point, and you probably don't want to build up too many minions. Let's go back to this other section here. So we have Pim Deck and Wakandan on this side, and Wakandan's just got a rework. You got your Wakandans that are great in Crucible. You got your War Dogs, which are great in War. All of them have that Wakanda tag, so this side should not be a problem for you. The next problem section is a Shield and Brotherhood section. And there are a few great Shield characters in the game that are worth considering building up. Now, again, this is based on their value in other game modes. All these recommendations, they may have zero synergy at all, but it is a Greek raids. This is something that some alliances, it is going to be proper for them to upgrade. Some alliances, not really proper. As far as our Shield characters, though, Maria Hill is a part of that Secret Avengers, and even though they're an older team, they are the best skill raid team right now. So Maria Hill, building her up is going to be important. Captain America is part of the next bio team. I think currently you could still use the Web Warriors and the Gamma team to go through the bio section, but I think there's some more difficult raids coming, which is why the rebirth is probably going to be needed. So investing in Captain America, which is the next Shield, which is the next bio team, is not a bad thing. Some of these other characters not as good, except for Nick Fury. Now, Nick Fury, I don't use him a lot in the raids. You probably will use him in the Greek raids if you're going to be doing the Gamma raids, but Nick Fury is a great option on those Secret Avengers. Not as much in the Doom raids though, but in War, in Crucible, because his special gives him that speed up, and especially in mirror matches, usually the opponent's going to do that ultimate, but if you do the special, you're going to be faster than them. So Nick Fury does still have some value for that Secret Avengers in War and Crucible. Moving on to the next tag though, we have this Brotherhood tag, and it's not a very good tag. Originally, the Brotherhood was the counter to that Shield team, and nowadays they're not that good. They got a lot of they're fallen out of the meta a lot. I think the best character of the bunch of all these Brotherhood characters is obviously Magneto. He was reworked the most recent. He's a part of this new Death Sea team. He is a horseman. Unfortunately, he is a legendary character, so if you're a newer player, you might not have those shards for him. But if you already have that 7 stars on Magneto, he is a good character to build up. You could build him up confidently. You could build him up strong. You're gonna need to build him up anyway for Apocalypse. The only other option I see here on this Brotherhood roster is Sabretooth. Now, as you can see, I haven't built him up all the way yet, but he's a great option in Dark Dimension 5. He is a cheaper character to build up, and he's still a part of that Heroes for Hire, killer, the Weapon X in War. So it's a great team. The Weapon X is still used a lot. So I think those 2 characters you can confidently invest in, but the rest of these characters, not really so much. All right, next, the next problem team is gonna be this AIM section here, and there's not a lot of great AIM characters in the game, so we could just skip that section there. Build up your Shield, you should be fine, and hopefully you don't have to build up too many AIM characters because they're not very good right now. Next thing I want to talk about, the next trait in the game that, or in this lane that may give you problems is this section with defenders, Hydra, or heroes for hire. So let's take a look at all of those traits, if there's any characters worth building up. Let's talk about the defenders first. And Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, pretty much war defense right now, if that. But Jessica Jones, she is off of the defenders and on that A-Force. So you can put some resources into Jessica Jones. You do want to survive on an A-Force team and give that extra energy to Doom. So not losing too much there. Let's move on to the Heroes for Hire, which is kind of like this Brotherhood Team 2.0. And we have a few great characters in here. Some more of the recent characters are Misty Knight, Colleen Wing. Not very good in the raids though. I thought because of the stun and the ability to block Misty Knight might be good. Not really. Shang-Chi is awesome though. One of the best characters in the game. Doesn't really have a set team right now. Unfortunately, it's going to be more war defense in the on war, but on Cosmic Crucible, you could use him on a variety of hybrid offense teams. So Shang-Chi is a great character to build up. We also have Hydra in this middle section here. So there's a few Hydra characters that are worth building up. Let's go take a look at some of the great ones. And I guess if I had to pick, my favorite would be Zemo. His early ability block is very important in the game in a lot of different game modes, slotting him into a lot of hybrid teams. Zemo is a great character. We also have Winter Soldier on this team who, like Captain America, is part of that rebirth team. So part of the next great raid team for bio is going to be Winter Soldier. If you don't have your Web Warriors built up and you don't have Gamma, you can start building Winter Soldier pretty confidently right now. And last but not least, this may not be a huge necessity, but Red Skull is still a pretty decent character in Crucible, still a pretty decent character in War. Probably not what he used to be, not what they used to be on War defense, but he's an okay character, and it wouldn't be that bad if you needed to put some resources in Red Skull. If you could do it with just Zemo and Winter Soldier, that would be ideal though. Back to the maps though. Next section to run is the Defenders, Mercenaries, and the Heroes for Hire. And we do have a few great mercenaries in the game right now. A couple of them just got reworked, so they're gonna be in the current meta in their game mode. So first is Taskmaster, who's part of that Underworld team. Second is that Killmonger, who's part of that newly reworked or a new room for them, the Wakandan room, room 6 in Cosmic Crucible. And then we have two other minions that has a little bit of value, had almost no value before Death Scourge, but with that minion required for Death Scourge, it seems like the best 5 are going to be 3 Ravagers and these 2 Mercs. And we're talking about Merc Lieutenant and Merc Riot Guard as your options for that Death Scourge. So if you can do that, that'll be great. So those are the traits, guys. Those are going to be your most problem areas in these Gamma raids here. Once you get to this section, it gets pretty easy. X-Men, you got a lot of great options there, especially the Axeman, who was designed for the raids. In the middle section, we still have to work with these Shield, Wakandas, and Defenders till we get to this side. Then we have those Spider-Verse characters again, Guardians characters again. So once you get past this middle section here, it's a little easier, but yeah, you need Shield, Wakandan, Defenders, Heroes for Hire. Luckily, you do have those Wakandan in this middle section, though, that just got reworked. So that is it, guys. Those are the recommendations for characters that you could build up if you're trying to reach that next difficulty in these Gamma raids. Although, look at the rewards, see if it's worth your lines pushing for all of these rewards. If you're very competitive in the raids, you're looking for those raid seasons, it's probably worth bumping up. If you're looking for that teal gear, it's probably worth at least trying to bump up. Outside of that, though, you may want to just use lower difficulty, so you have to put these resources into these characters that you may or may not use later. But that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helps you decide if you and your alliance want to move up to the next difficulty tier, and if it's worth building up some of these characters. Those are the best characters that I would recommend. Hopefully, like I said, you enjoyed this video. If you did, check me out on social media, check out some of the other videos on this channel, and share this with your friends. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out. I'll see you guys next time.